I'd like to welcome you all to the 18th annual Glendale Youth Alliance Luncheon. I am Rita Hajimanukian, former chair of the Glendale Youth Alliance. And before we really get started with today's program, the GYA staff and board have asked me to alert you of the dire situation that the GYA is currently in. We have lost all of our federal funding, and the summer program is in complete jeopardy. This annual luncheon is traditionally held in August to celebrate the accomplishments of our youth who have completed their job training. This year, the luncheon is early, and this year, the luncheon is a fundraiser to secure the possibility of having a summer youth program at all. At this moment, the GYA staff has secured 1,000 applications from youth looking for work. Last year, we had the privilege of honoring and serving 350 youth and literally changed their lives. It is unclear how many youth we will be able to serve this summer, but with your help, we are hoping to attain a goal of at least 100. Having said that, I'd like to officially start the program, and I'd like to ask you to join me in welcoming today's MCs, the chair of the GYA, Ms. Jeanette Cordone, and board member Chief Harold Scoggins.
Well, welcome. I'm Jeanette Cordone, and this is Chief Scoggins.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming today. And as you heard Rita say just a few minutes ago, we lost a great deal of funding in the GYA. So today's event is a big deal. I know every other luncheon that you've been to, the room has been surrounded by the youth here in the community. But today is different. Today is a different purpose, and that's what you really need to understand. Today is a fundraiser. Every $1,000 the GYA raises puts one youth to work for a summer program. Every $1,000 that we can raise will put one kid to work for the summer. That's why today is so important, and that's why we felt we needed to turn this event into a fundraiser. We needed to do it before the program started, and it's like you heard Rita say, over 1,000 applications were received, and we're going to be able to hopefully fund 1/10 of that. So today is a pretty important event, and thank you for coming today. I'd like to invite up our mayor, Laura Friedman, to say a few words.
It's really a pleasure to be here with you all today. You know, the kids who take part in this program really want what all of us want. They want a chance at the American dream. And without the support of the Glendale Youth Alliance, for many of them, that chance at that dream would be very difficult. This program provides them with employment, but more importantly, it teaches them what it is to hold a job every day. It helps them learn those essential skills that it takes to gain employment. It gives them something to put on their resume, and it gives them a lot of those skills that otherwise they wouldn't have. And as the chief said, this year is a terrible budget year. Every nonprofit in the city is in trouble, and this one's no exception. And it's your presence here today and your support that is going to be the lifeblood of this organization. So I thank you on behalf of the City of Glendale for your attendance, for your support, not just today but throughout the year on behalf of Glendale Youth Alliance. Thank you all so very much.
I would like to thank our mayor, Laura Friedman, and Councilman Frank Quintero for being with us today. They really understand the value. I know each of you have heard our council members speak on the value of this program on a regular basis to the community and the good work that they do. So thank you for your support. It is appreciated. We have a number of sponsors that we want to take a couple of minutes to recognize, and the list is long. So what that says when the list is long is the community cares. Because if the community did not care, our list of sponsors would be very short. And once again, hold your applause until the end. Glendale Water and Power, Nordstrom's, Los Angeles County Supervisor's Office, Michael Antonovich, The Gas Company, Kaiser Permanente, Los Angeles, Glendale Memorial Hospital and Health Center, the City of Glendale Community Services and Parks Department, Glendale Adventist Medical Center, Glendale Management Association, Art and Paula Devine, Community Bank, Massage Envy, the Walt Disney Company, Glendale Redevelopment Agency, the Glendale Firefighters Association, Dr. Vahe Perumian, Fiscal Credit Union, Sad, Velasquez, Hagashi, and Shama CPAs, the Glendale Police Department, Glendale Police Officers Association, the Glendale Latino Association, and the Glendale Sunrise Rotary Club. Thank you for your support.
The story of the Glendale Youth Alliance is best told by its youth. I would like to welcome Ramiro Medina to share his experience with you at this time.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ramiro Medina, and I'm one of the 3 fortunate students to be receiving a scholarship today. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about my family and my background. For starters, my parents, they immigrated here from Michoacan, Mexico, about 20 years ago, and it wasn't an easy task. My father actually took 4 tries to remain in the U.S. and eventually receive his citizenship. After earning his citizenship, it took him about a year to immigrate my mom and my older sister over. And soon after, I was born and have been living here ever since. And growing up, I never really noticed the financial troubles my parents had until high school, where I realized the financial struggles they had living paycheck to paycheck and working over 70 hours each parent every week. And I'm not talking about regular 9 to 5 hour jobs. Talking about my mother, for example, waking up at 5 in the morning, going to work at 7 in Valencia, and my father several times a week would work from 8 in the morning till 12 midnight, which was very difficult for him. So starting high school, I realized that I needed to get independent, and that's when the GYA Summer Brush Program came along. And that was in 2008, and I had such a great experience. It was such a welcoming environment that I decided to come back 2009 and do the Summer Brush Program all over again. That's when I earned the Employee of the Summer Award, which was great, and felt that I should work all year long instead of just the summer. So along with increased income, I was able to focus on school rather than worrying about paying for fees or my parents worrying about paying bills or putting food on the table. I could help them out a little bit, and as well as feel like I'm on my own, being a little bit independent. So as well as with work, I'd also volunteer in the community, providing over 100 hours of my time to the communities, whether it be in the Glendale Adventist Medical Center, the New Horizons Family Center, or packaging lunches. And that I found that as being a worthwhile experience. And although I am involved, I still consider academics my #1 priority, keeping my 4.2 GPA in school, and I'm very proud of. And thank you. Okay, and with that, I'll be going to UC Santa Barbara in the fall, where I will be pursuing a bachelor's degree in biology to hopefully one day become a doctor. And I don't know, I just don't really like seeing my parents living paycheck to paycheck, so hopefully one day I could provide for them in some sort of way with my career. And I could really thank GYA for all it's done for me these past few years. If it wasn't for them, who knows what type of person I'd be here today. And I'd also like to thank Tony Tartiaga for providing me with this much-needed scholarship, which will help me with my future goals. Thank you.
If any of you here today, or if you know people out in the community who are willing to make a contribution to GYA, please contact the GYA. It's like I said earlier, it takes $1,000 to put one youth to work for the entire summer. We had one testimony so far, and he's going to be heading off to UC Santa Barbara. These kids don't just go to work and learn a trade. They're mentored. They learn different skill sets. They learn how to talk to people They learn a lot of other things that's really bigger than just going to work every day. And if his parents are working long hours each and every day, maybe the workplace in the proper mentoring situation is a place to get those skills that can help you advance in life. So it's really important. Now we're going to move forward in the awards portion of the program. It's the camaraderie of these awards that contributed to the success of another year. Thank you for your contributions, support, in helping the youth of today become the employees of tomorrow. Will the executive committee members please come up to the stage? Patricia Carlos, Art Resendez, and Michael Keeman. Please join us.
The Community Partnership Award is our first award. This award honors a community organization which has made a significant contribution to the Glendale Youth Alliance or youth of our community. This year's Community Partnership Award goes to TJ Maxx. Chief Scoggins will accept on Tony Evans' behalf. TJ Maxx was founded in 1976, and together with Marshalls forms the Marmax Group, the largest off-price retailer of apparel and home fashions in the United States. TJ Maxx has been supportive of the Glendale Youth Alliance and the youth of our community. Over the past 3 years, over 30 youth have worked at TJ Maxx, and many of whom have been hired as permanent employees. Congratulations, and thank you for making a difference. At this time, I would like to invite another one of our youth participants to share his experience with you. Please welcome David Zelaya.
Good afternoon. My name is David Zelaya, and I have been employed with the Glendale Youth Alliance for 2 years. Before I came to GYA, I was having a difficult time finding a job because of my troubled past. Growing up in the lower income part of Glendale, I was exposed to gangs, violence, and other bad influences. As a teen, I made poor choices, and I was persuaded to do things that were not always good. At times, teens have the need to be cool and take part in things that are not always right. A few years ago, I thought I was cool, and I felt I was gaining more and more popularity with the decisions that I made. The last year of high school, I began to realize that I wasn't going anywhere and that I wanted to change my life around. I told the people that I hung with that I wanted to be great. They had no desire to help themselves, so I had to begin to distance myself and really start to think. During this time, I was in a relationship as well, and my girlfriend got pregnant. That was my real wake-up call because I wanted my child to have all the things I never had. Almost immediately, I started to work harder than ever before to get employed. Finding a job proved to be difficult because of my past and everything, and I was feeling discouraged and feeling hopeless, being turned away from job interviews before I even showed up to them. My friend told me about GYA, and I entered a program that assists young adults in finding employment. I took part in a resume training shortly after, and we were all asked if there was anyone interested in working outdoors, and I almost jumped out of my seat and said that I would. The next day, I received a call asking me if I would like to show up to clear brush the following day. I was so happy, and I felt a glimmer of hope in my heart. You see, having a job and being able to support my son meant the world to me. I have been working hard ever since. Through this program, I was given a chance to prove that I could work hard. When my grant hours were complete, my case managers assured me that their top priority was to support me in finding a job. Shortly after, a position opened up in the GYA brush team, and I applied as an hourly city worker. Again, my case managers guided me through the process and reassured me, which made me feel good. I was eventually hired as an hourly city worker, gaining experience in carpentry, weed abatement, and currently meter reading. I'm also proud to say that through the Glendale Youth Alliance, I was part of the team that renovated the council chambers. I now have my own apartment with my wife and son, and I am able to support my family. The Glendale Youth Alliance believed in me and gave me an opportunity to turn my life around. I have a great work ethic, and I know that GYA will stand behind me. I would like to thank you all for listening to my story, and I would like to ask that you reflect on how important these summer jobs are to the youth in Glendale whose families are struggling financially.
Our second Community Partnership Award goes to Marshalls. To accept this award, please welcome Cesar Dominguez. The Montrose Marshalls has been an avid member of community support since it opened its doors in 1995. The management team, coordinators, and associate staff always look forward to the opportunity to evolve tomorrow's future with participants from the GYA. Over the last year, Marshall's has been honored to increase its efforts in difficult times. That's big. To reach out to the youth by making them permanent additions to their regular staff. With the current success of the youth, Marshall hopes to always be able to support the Glendale Youth Alliance with on-the-job training, social development, leadership skills, general retail experience, logistics, and friendships. So congratulations to Marshall's, and thank you for your ongoing support.
This year's Employer of the Year award goes to Massage Envy. Here to receive this award, please welcome Helen McDonough. Massage Envy Spa Glendale's success is underlined by its strong belief that there's a direct correlation between the health of a business and its involvement in the community. Community involvement is a standard operating practice of the business. Massage Envy truly cares for the local community and goes above and beyond when working with the Glendale Youth Alliance. Over the past several years, Massage Envy has been a worksite to many of our youth and has hired youth on a permanent basis. They continue to support our youth and our mission. Congratulations.
I just wanted to say thank you to the Glendale Youth Alliance for this honor, but the honor really goes to two of my employees who I recruited from the Glendale Youth Alliance, and this is Anna Shea and Meg. And Anna Shea's been with me over 2 years, and Meg 1 year and 3/4. And Meg is actually leaving us this Saturday to go work at a brand new Massage Envy location in Pasadena. And Anna Shea is moving up the ranks of management at Massage Envy Glendale. So thank you to GYA.
Now it's time for the Friend of Youth Award. This award honors an individual or an organization who is a true advocate for the GYA, patron and supporter of the youth of our community. The winners of this year's Friend of Youth Award is the City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. Please welcome Paula Devine to the podium to accept this award on the Commission of Status of Women. The City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women was established by the Glendale City Council as an advisory commission in 2003. The purpose of the Commission on the Status of Women is to educate, elevate, and empower all women and girls in Glendale. Amongst its many signature programs, the Commission works closely with the GYA to provide the Camp Rosie program, a summer day camp that teaches teen girls about financial literacy, self-empowerment, nutrition and fitness, healthy relationships, and self-defense. We thank you for your partnership and congratulate you on this award.
Thank you. Is it working? First of all, I want to thank the GYA for acknowledging this program. The Commission works very hard to put this on. I want to pay particular acknowledgement to Kathy Piametti, who is our director. And Christine Baboumian, who couldn't make it today, but she's our staff administrator, and she does a fabulous job for this program and for the Commission. And while I'm at it, I would like we have 3 present commissioners here today. Would you ladies please stand? And 3 former commissioners, and I'd like for you to acknowledge them as well. Linda Burns, Ruth Sobey, Elizabeth Manasarian, Denise Miller, and Susan Hunt. Thank you. And our ex officio is also here, Maria Denellian, and she's a student at Glendale Community College on her way to UCLA. Thank you. Yeah. I simply want to say that This Camp Rosie program fulfills 3 of our goals, as the chief said, to educate, elevate, and empower young girls and women. I have to tell you a story. I was at the police station for one of our self-defense classes, and I ran into two young girls, and they were both explorers. They were so beautiful, and I said, "Oh, what are you?" And they said, "Well, we're explorers for the police department." I said, "Oh, wonderful." And the one looks at me and she says, "Were you at Camp Rosie?" And I said, "Well," I said, "I'm part of the commission that kind of puts that on." And I said, "Are you a graduate?" And she said, "Oh, yes, and it was such a great program." And I thought, oh, wow, a future chief of police maybe. But don't worry, Chief, she was only 16, so you have time. You have time. You have time. The other one thing I want to mention is the commission was formed with the goal of collaborating with groups in Glendale. And I have to tell you that I want to thank Seroptimus International of Glendale for giving us the seed money the first year of this program and getting it started. So I want to thank them very, very much. And also Kiwanis, who each and every year helps us and gives us a grant to put this program on, as well as the CDBG. But thank you all, and I look forward to continuing with the Commission's work, and hopefully the Glendale Youth Alliance will continue its wonderful work, because we all know that we need this program and we need to help the youth in our community. They're the most important. Thank you so much.
Jose Quintanar and Linda Maxwell founded We Care for Youth in 1991, a not-for-profit agency dedicated to serving youth with compassion and unconditional love. As volunteers, Jose and Linda began mentoring 20 middle school girls who were identified as being at risk, not graduating. Fortunately, all of the girls graduated and moved on to high school. The experience was so profound that the girls chose to call their group Still Standing Strong. These 20 girls became the inspiration for much of what was to follow for We Care for Youth. Since that time, Linda and Jose have worked with more than 10,000 teens and their families. Currently, Linda and Jose are heading the Bliss Unlimited Teen Business Academy nonviolence projects in Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena, and other communities, and a relationship-building project between teens and police in the city of Burbank. Linda and Jose have made a profound impact in the lives of thousands of youth in our community. We honor your work and continued partnership. Congratulations.
When Karina contacted me and said they were going to recognize us, I said, "Do I have to speak?" And she said, "No, you don't." But I just wanted to acknowledge the city of Glendale and all the departments, Parks and Rec, Police Department, everybody who contributed to the success of We Care for Youth and Bliss Unlimited. And the most important person that I want to thank and acknowledge is Karina Gregorian, who started with us when she was 12 years old. So there's a real success story there.
At this time, I would like to invite back up one of our youth participants to share her experience with you. Please welcome Angela Sanchez.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Marie Sanchez. I am entering my 3rd year now at UCLA, and I'm also a former GYA participant. That said, I would like to note that the Glendale Youth Alliance is more than just an alliance of Glendale youth. It's of an entire community. It's the combined effort of everyone in this community, which is the collective means of caring, invested citizens who provide young adults in Glendale with the means to reciprocate to their community. It was in my senior year of high school that I met GYA program specialist Kathy Pimetti, who in her warm and friendly manner came up to me and made me aware of the opportunities, of the job opportunities that GYA could provide. This came at a critical point in my life because not only was I finishing up my 4 years of high school, I was also into my 2nd year of being homeless. homelessness is the high point of anxiety and the nadir of hope. At that point, even though I had been accepted to all 8 universities to which I had applied, and I had my heart set on the one with the Bruin mascot, even though I was reaching a critical turning point in my life where I knew I could go into a college, and not just anyone, but also one of the best ones this side of the West Coast, but I was still unsure if I'd be able to afford it, if I'd have the financial means to proceed and progress in all of my dreams and aspirations I want to fulfill. GYA showed me that there wasn't just a possibility, but also a means to find stability. So, that said, with the job, I knew that I could provide some sort of supplementary income for my family when we were making that transition from the shelter and into our own home. I was placed over at the Casa Verdugo Library, up on North Brand Street, and I noticed that's actually a very small branch of the Glendale Library Systems. If you know of it, you also know how small and tucked away it is as well. It's like fire station, insurance company, wait, back up. Fire station, Casa Verdugo, insurance company, and then moving right along. So I hadn't known that Casa Verdugo even existed until I was placed there. And wow, what a library it is, because it was only a few blocks down from Hoover High School, where I went to, and it was also perfectly situated that it turned out that quite a few of my classmates also went there as well. Like I said, I didn't know that this library was there, but when I found out that not only my friends went there, but also their families and other people that they knew, I knew that I was a gear in Glendale as well. I knew that my position was, well, it wasn't a matter of life or death, it was something that was important. And being at the Casa Verdugo Library also prepared me in being someone who gave back to their community as well. At my high school, I was a tutor, and I was also a tutor at the shelter where I stayed. Whenever kids came to me for homework help at the shelter, I'd be more than happy to sit down and work with them. At Hoover High, I also participated in our after-school homework lab. So, being here at the Casa Verdugo Library, I was also able to reach out and find a new means to participate in the community as well. So kids would come over here, and then they would participate in readathons, or their parents wanted to find some kind of activity. Every year, Casa Verdugo always has some kind of cool theme, like there was Making a Splash last year, then there was also Be Creative the year before that. And you could recommend books, get children into participating for readathon contests, get them into raffles, and you would have awards such as new books or even gift prizes as well. It was these kinds of activities that got not only young children excited about reading, but also all made us aware of the ways that we could connect as well, such as the Glendale One Book program every year, when all of Glendale is offered to read one specific book as a community for that duration of the year and then meet up in a book club. So, anyways, it's also that GYA members, we understand how we get involved in Glendale, we get involved in our jobs, and Glendale isn't just some place where we work and where we study and hang out in our spare time. It's also a place where we come together as a group. Because after I left Casa Verdugo and I would go around Glendale, there were clients and there were customers I would see around on the sidewalk as well, and I'm like, hey, I know you. And they would just smile and wave back. It's knowing that you become familiar. You start to put names to people and faces as well. And you're also able to, when someone's in your neck of the woods, say like, oh, I can't make it to the main Glendale Central Library today. Do you know of any other locations? And I could refer Casa Verdugo as well at that point. So, that in mind, I went back to UCLA in the fall 2010 as well for my second year. But I went to UCLA that fall in 2009 for my first year. But at the end of my first year, an old anxiety crept up again. I wasn't sure if I would be able to have employment for that summer as well. Because although I had a part-time campus job, I couldn't make it back to UCLA because, one, the commute is is great from where I now live in Highland Park out to Westwood. But not only that, I also want to take a couple of courses at GCC in studying Japanese, where it would be considerably cheaper than doing it over at UCLA for the summer. But I need a job. And during that 3-month lapse between the end of spring quarter and the beginning of fall quarter, I don't have any financial income. And finding something that supplements, at least to tide me and my family over for that time, is necessary. So I went back to GYA, and Casa Verdugo happily welcomed me back into my old niche as well. So it's these sorts of opportunities that GYA not only provides, but also makes available to us as well. In addition to the number of real-world applications that GYA also offers. There's everything from scholarships, such as the gas company, which was awarded also today, and also back when I participated in my first GYA annual luncheon as well. There's also leadership building programs as well, such as Camp Rosie, which was mentioned, and also these confidence building programs, these sorts of portfolio and resume boosters, things that help Glendale youth not just become employees at their positions, but also become employees of the future, become strong and supportive citizens as well, because we become invested in our community and also what we do in there. So it's important for the Glendale Youth Alliance to continue its integral role in the Glendale community. As we know, funding has been cut back, and what GYA does for the teen and adolescent youth here as well is spectacular. That said, when this opportunity to speak was presented to me, I was more than happy to come up here and proud to be able to speak for GYA as well. All I can say is that when it comes to the Glendale Youth Alliance, the payout is tenfold, and it's always positive. Not only as a continuing member of GYA, but also as a concerned citizen, I ask you, please do what you can to help GYA continue and persist, and to continue keeping those doors open for young adults such as myself, and also the rest of us who are invested in Glendale. Thank you.
For the past several years, the Glendale Youth Alliance has had the privilege of awarding several scholarships to the youth who graduate and are in good standing. This year, we asked our community partners to contribute to the summer program and meet the current financial needs of our youth. We thank all of our partners and hope you will consider providing scholarships in future years to come. The gas company has a scholarship program which GYA has been a part of since 1998. This year, in addition to the generous sponsorship, the gas company has provided 3 scholarships to graduating high school seniors from Glendale Youth Alliance. To date, the gas company has provided over $15,500 in scholarships to over 26 GYA participants. To present the gas company scholarships, please welcome Tony Tartaglia.
Well, thank you very much. I was trying to calculate how many years I had been involved with the GYA. And first, I'd like to start with thanking Karina. I watched her career blossom as she came over to GYA. And now she's the executive director as well as the supervisor of the program. And what a silent, powerful individual this is. This woman accomplishes so much with such integrity and such polish. I commend you. Thank you very much. I think one of the few people in the room, Frank Quintero, can understand how long this program has been alive and what it does for the community. When at that time, I was engaged to be married, now no longer, and my wife started off at that time as the first executive director, I think of that time, first or maybe second, of the GYA. And I said, GYA? What is that? Glendale Youth Alliance. It didn't mean anything to me. And it started out as a jobs program, a summer jobs program. And it has evolved into something that is so dynamic in this community, it should be a model for other cities and municipalities. It is not only a job program. It is an education program. It is a program that is teaching our youth how to be successful, productive citizens in society. Now, I ask you to say, well, they get a job. What does that mean? It's more than just getting a paycheck. I do love to see the youth when they get their first paycheck and realize that half of it went to taxes. Welcome. Welcome to society. But also they understand things, they learn things as youth, as how to greet individuals, how to conduct a job interview, how to dress appropriately, what questions to ask, and what questions not to ask when you're talking to an adult that you'd like to get a job from. Rich Roach can attest to you as the chair of the Workforce Investment Board that youth funding has been cut in half and continues to be cut. And he has not been able to provide this organization the funding that it needs. I can't tell you as much as what Laura and Frank are going through to try to cut $18 million. And oh, by the way, next year, it won't be zero that they have to cut. They're probably going to have to cut more. This organization needs your help. And I recommend that you get involved in any which way you can to be a part of it and bring resources to this model. Because if this model goes away, these children will still be here. They'll just be stealing your cars instead of being productive parts of this society. And I say that with tongue in cheek, but I want you to know that this has been a successful organization in taking individuals from the bottom and making them successful parts of our society. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite up the 3 scholarship winners that we provided scholarships to this year and have them say a quick word about themselves. You've already heard from Ramiro Medina. Please, Ramiro. And the gas company is providing you with not only a certificate this year, but a backpack with some goodies in it that might help you get through your career in college. Congratulations. And Ramiro, did you want to say a few words?
I guess, as you guys have already known, this GYA program is a truly remarkable program. I'd like to say I do consider myself a good student, but without GYA, I wouldn't know how to get my priorities straight. I wouldn't be able to know what I want to be in life or have a mindset of my own. So if you could truly help out this program, it would be wonderful and have more people like me. And yeah, thank you.
Good job. Good job. Congratulations. I'd like to invite up now Nora Aram.
I would just want to say thank you for your support and encouragement for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Christina Gregorian. And I'm not sure, no relation, no relation to Karina Gregorian.
I just want to say thank you for everything. I've been in GYA for 4 years, and it's honestly helped me a lot throughout my high school career. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone.
At this time, I would like to invite one of our Glendale Youth Alliance alumni to speak. Please welcome Vartan Gornikian.
Before I get started, it's actually nice to see all my favorite stars from Channel 6. Now I almost wore a tie, and I actually made it all the way here before I rolled up my sleeves too, so it's a start. I was actually hoping that Artie would be here too. I've been emailing him maybe twice a week for the last 5-6 years, asking him to use logos on our different flyers and everything else that we've done. And I've never met him. He's probably wondering who keeps bugging him and taking 20 minutes out of every week he has. So anyways, I started with the GYA when I was 16 years old. And just like most of the other kids that were there, I came from a low-income family. And back then, my mother worked an average of about 14 hours a day, maybe 5-6 days a week. And it still wasn't enough to make ends meet. Close enough? Better? Yeah? So I applied for the summer program. I think that's the only real program that they had back then, which was about 8 years ago now. And I lied a little bit on my resume saying that I knew programs like Photoshop and anything else you can think of. And somehow they just kind of bought into my charm, as you can see. Anyways, so they bought into it, and I was actually hired to work in their main office, which was at the Neighborhood Services Department back then with Sam Engel and everybody else. And I would go home and watch YouTube videos of Photoshop tutorials, kind of figure out what I'm doing, because honestly, I don't know where Karina is. But we've known each other long enough that I can tell you now that I didn't know a single thing about the program until you hired me. Anyways, these days I'm a top-level graphic designer for one of the largest graphic companies in the country. We handle pretty much every movie and game studio from Fox to Disney to Warner Brothers, Activision, Microsoft. And chances are, if you've been to a Walmart, a Blockbuster, any other retail store, or any other movie theater in the world, you've probably seen some of my work all over the place. Not yet, not yet. Wait for it. Anyways, where was I? Did you guys have to clap already? Yeah, well, basically, it's been 8 years, and I haven't had to take a single loan to go to college. I can pretty much travel anywhere in the world if I can ever get more than 2 hours off. I mean, it was hard enough to come to this luncheon, let me tell you. And this is actually a true story, but last September, I called my mother at her job. We talked for a minute, and I said, "Do you feel like quitting today?" And just like every other time I've asked, she said, "Yeah, definitely." So I said, "Just quit. I'll pick you up in 20 minutes to celebrate." So I picked her up in 20 minutes, and honestly, it took another 3 days to convince her to actually quit, but she hasn't worked a day since, so that was my goal. And the truth is, none of this would have been possible without the GYA. I originally got this internship 7 years ago with the help of Lisa, Karina, and a former employee, Sarah Watson. They took me over there, introduced me to everybody. I think Lisa knew the vice president at the time. And when I first started, it was basically from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., and then I'd go straight to high school through 11th and 12th grade until I guess they kind of fell for my charm too. So what do you know? And I originally planned on keeping this very professional, and I think I was told a little bit to keep this professional. So if you read the first draft, it has words in there like managers and mentors, but honestly, I've seen all of you like my friends for as long as I can remember. I mean, Karina and I go hiking together. I mean, it's a little more past Facebook in the office, so take my word for it. And they keep laughing at me. Anyways, it took friends like Kathy that basically taught me that it doesn't matter what's going on. If you're fully committed to what you're doing and you enjoy it, you never really have a bad day at work, at home. It really doesn't matter what's going on as long as you stay focused. And it was Karina that taught me that it doesn't matter whatever comes up. If you just think hard and work hard, whatever you want can basically happen.
When you believe in a child, you advance their dream and you change their lives. And I want to take you back to a child that was born 3 days after her parents arrived from Central America. The parents did not speak one word of English. They had very little money. The mom eventually got work in the garment district, and the father was a spray painter. They lived in Los Angeles. A lot of tortillas and rice on the table, but every step of the way of these three girls in this family, there was an angel, somebody who believed in these children. Every step of the way, someone said to them, "Here, let me help you with your English. Here, let me help you fill out the scholarships. Here, you can go to college. Here, you can make a difference." Every step of the way. These three girls eventually became business owners. They graduated from college. They became loving family members. I'm one of those children. When you believe in a child, when you care enough to say, "Let me help you," here, whether it's money or finding work, you change the lives of those children forever. So I leave you with that. I'm going to turn it over to Harold. Thank you so much for being here, and he's got one more thing to say.
Well, first I want to thank everyone for coming today. Today's a big deal. Obviously, you understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I think everyone who's here believes in what we're doing. So there's envelopes on your table. If you're so inclined, please leave a donation to help the GYA. And it's like I said, every $1,000 that we raise puts another kid to work for the entire summer. That's a big deal if you're a youth in the community. You're down on your luck. Your parents are having a tough time. You heard a young lady who was homeless for her last 2 years of high school. Now she's a junior at UCLA. I know GYA plays a part in these type of things. So please take advantage of that. We thank you all for coming. Congratulations to all of the awardees and scholarship recipients. A special thanks to everyone who contributed to the program, especially to the incredible GYA staff. Can we have all the GYA staff please stand up? Wherever you are, just stand up. You know, you don't hear the stories every day that they hear. They're the ones sitting with the youth in the community, talking to them when they're going through the difficult times. They're the ones who are working late, working extra hard to try to get them that extra job interview, to find them that shirt and tie, to find the young lady a nice dress to wear on an interview. These are the people who are really committed to trying to make a better life for these kids. And you're hearing some of the examples, some of the fruits of that labor was exposed today and some of the things that was going on. So special thanks to Tina for all the work that you do and making this event a successful event again. It's appreciated.